Call the meeting to order.
Councilman Munger.
Present.
Councilman Genzel.
Present.
Supervisor Ballo.
Here.
Councilman Boardway.
Present.
Councilman Keating.
Present.
Councilman Munger, pledge of allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under preliminary matters, we have a request from the town attorney to attend the Associations of Towns annual meeting held in New York City from February 19th through February 22nd. Make a motion to accept this and send the town attorney to the Associations of Towns in New York City.
I would second that.
Councilman Munger.
Yes.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo.
Yes.
Councilman Boardway.
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 2 under regular business is the correction and adoption of minutes from 12/7/16.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I've had the opportunity to review the minutes from our 12/7/16 meeting. Unfortunately, I could make a motion they be tabled until they are corrected. A little bit too much cutting and pasting going on and not enough proofreading.
Maybe if I had staff to help me out of the.
What is wrong with it?
Well, you were absent, yet you apparently made the motion to close the meeting, Mr. Supervisor.
That can be a correction. It's not
The motion
a
is to table it.
Second.
Councilman Munger.
No.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo.
Yes.
Councilman Boardway.
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
No.
Motion's carried.
Item number 2 is the consideration of all fund bills. Councilman Keating.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This time I've had an opportunity to review the fund bills for the last meeting that was inadvertently canceled and the current upcoming meeting. So there will be $2 amounts that will be read. The first one was for the total dollar amount we're looking at is $48,032.31. Make a motion to approve those bills for the end of December. And
I'll second that.
the second list of bills that came in for this year is $22,969.79.
There's a motion on the floor that we should vote on first.
First motion.
Make a second. I'm sorry. Make a second motion to approve the bills for January 2017.
We're just doing second.
Second.
I seconded the first.
Okay, and this is for the
48,000.
abstract for the fiscal year dated 2015 through 16, 12 December. Councilman Munger.
Yes.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo.
Yes.
Councilman Boardway.
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
And then I'll make a motion to pass the second dollar amount that I had advised, which was $22,969.79.
Yeah, second that.
Councilman Munger.
Yes.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo.
Yes.
Councilman Boardway.
Yes.
And Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 3 is correspondence. We have a correspondence tonight from Erie County Water Authority. Received and filed now. Item number 4 under new business, request from the floor for 3 minutes. Open up the floor. You can keep it to what's on the agenda tonight. We have a lot going on. So I'll make a motion to open the floor.
I'll second that motion.
Councilman Munger.
Yes.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo.
Yes.
Councilman Ordway?
Yes.
Councilman Keating?
No.
Carried.
Floor is open.
My name is Joanne Bonzak. I live at 7130 on Falius Road, Boston, New York, the Colden zip code. As a taxpayer and citizen of the town of Boston, I am deeply concerned over the expenditures that have been made by the town board in the year of 2016. Some of these expenditures have been approved by the majority of the board. Some have been allocated by other means. For expediency's sake, those other means will be addressed at a later date. I am deeply troubled by the following budgetary items. Celebration account. From what I could ascertain, over $40,000 has been spent or allocated, and I could be off by several $1,000s as invoices have yet to be made known, and money.
Mrs. Bonzak, I don't mean to interrupt you.
But you are.
No,
Money,
Mrs. Bonzak.
you can talk to me at the end.
Mrs. Bonzak, I
Yes.
asked if you could keep it to what's on the agenda.
Well, this was going to
We
be at
had-
the
we
last
had-
meeting.
we had-
That's fine, it's 2
we had-
minutes.
We had a public.
Monies,
we
line
had
item
Mrs.
under other
Bonzak.
line have yet to be
Mrs.
determined.
Bonzak.
We have barely entered 2017.
Mrs. Bonzak.
Where are the additional revenues going to be coming
Mrs.
from?
Bonzak, we had a public hearing for the budget.
No, Don
Yeah, we did.
Bonko's increase in pay due to full-time status
Okay.
was not part of that.
Mrs. Bonzak.
That was not.
Mrs. Bonzak.
The secondary rink
Let
was
her
not
speak.
allocated.
Thank you, Mrs.
Let me
Bonzak.
just finish.
Mrs.
It's-
Bonzak.
The
Thank
secondary rink was
Mrs.
not
Bonzak.
allocated.
I don't think
Where's
you're
that money
understanding,
going to
Mrs.
come?
Bonzak. Okay.
And most important, we
Mrs.
did it.
Bonzak.
I get my
Mrs.
2 minutes,
Bonzak.
actually, it's 2.
Mrs. Bonzak.
And the additional attorney from the Cambria office was never allocated. That's over $10,000
Thank you,
for
Mrs.
that attorney. That's 3 attorneys that this town is paying for. And Cambria
Thank you.
has never been paid for. So you can shut me off like you do all the time.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Please have a seat.
Well, that's fine, because I will talk to the press afterwards.
Whatever you want.
But I want a detailed spreadsheet of all the allocations of this town.
Mrs.
Period.
Bonzak, you
You
foiled me
can't be,
today.
I will
You foiled
foil
me.
everything and get a spreadsheet made for the town of Boston, period.
Everyone stand up.
Great, Mrs. Bonzak, thank
Let her
you.
speak.
And I appreciate that, and I appreciate your enthusiasm. But we did have a public hearing on the budget. I asked if you could keep it to what is on here tonight.
Well,
Thank you.
half the board members weren't even in attendance for that,
For the public hearing?
for the work review.
Okay.
2 members were not there.
Thank you.
My name is Brian Burns. I live at 6556 Chestnut Lane, and I'd like to address subjects that are on the agenda, being only the topics of discussion during our 3-minute interval. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lois Jackson, 7964 Back Creek Road. I think this is to do with the agenda because you're doing appointments. I would like to thank Sandy Quinlan for all of the work that she does as a deputy clerk, volunteer. She is volunteering her time for the better of the community. Thanks, Sandy. Thank you.
Okay, I make a motion to close the floor. Motion.
My name is Bruce Hanson, 8174 Cole Road. On the topic of communications in the minutes, right now, it looks like the only source for us to be able to get a hold of the minutes other than coming downtown and getting them here is boston-newyork.com. Although I like what I see happening with boston-newyork.com. In addition to the communications with the event we just had, which I thought was a fabulous event, I wish I could have attended, I couldn't. But those are the types of things that I'd like to see happen for this town. Communicate what's going on, openly transparent about what is happening. But I think the minutes and the agenda, the packet, all that is very, very important. Talking about the budget, I won't dwell on it, but if that information was made more public, other than the ways it is, it would have been nice. So, I congratulate you on the website coming along. I know it has a lot of work, but for those residents who really want to know what's going on, it's boston-newyork.com at this point, until our own website is up and running. Thank you.
Russ Metcalf, 9720 Zimmerman Road, unfortunately in Boston, New York. I'd like to ask a question that relates to the payroll. It appears we have a volunteer working as a deputy clerk in the clerk's office, and yet by the budget, we are allocating funds from the personnel expense of the clerk's office to pay people that are not really working in the clerk's office. Could you explain that, please?
Why are they not working in the clerk's office?
No. They are clearly not working in the clerk's office. They are not appointed by the clerk, okay? And yet they're being paid out of the budget personnel expense of the clerk's office. Can you explain that?
They are coming out of the clerk's budget, you're absolutely right. They were
I-
hired to work in the clerk's office. The clerk does not want them to work in the clerk's office. No. You asked me to explain it, Mr. Metcalf.
Okay.
It went to state Supreme Court. The judge decided that she does not have to train him if she doesn't want to.
That's true.
And she doesn't have to have him working there if she doesn't want to. The town provides a person to work in there if she chooses to train him. If she chooses not to train him, that
The
is her
town board
decision.
does not supply deputy town.
That is her decision.
I think, Mr. Supervisor, if you read a little further, it is the town clerk's responsibility to appoint deputies.
It is.
It is.
To appoint
Okay,
deputies.
now she's appointed the deputy. It is also the right of the council, the town board, to pay or not pay.
And that was
deputy
decided by
clerks.
state Supreme Court.
Exactly. So now, my question goes back to, you are paying people out of that budget, okay? You're paying people out of the budget from the town clerk, but they aren't working for the town clerk. I need to know why you're doing that. Who are these people?
They are clerks
They
part-time.
should be under your budget.
No, they're clerks part-time.
No, they are not clerks. They aren't appointed.
The
You
town appoints
need-
them clerks part-time.
You need to abide by New York town law.
We are we not?
No, you're not.
Okay,
Gross
but thank you.
misappropriation of funds is what I think.
Okay, stop. I don't want any heckling. Let people say what their point is.
Kenneth Klopp for 5245 Keller Road. Those two clerks, those are two positions that nobody wanted, nobody asked for, you're paying them. They weren't there before you created those jobs. What do? I'm sure they're nice people, but you ought to just lay them off, bite the bullet, pay the unemployment, and start paying the clerks, deputies that she appoints like she's entitled to.
Like they had the
No.
situation.
And I think the town clerk's office would
She
run a
doesn't-
lot
the
smoother,
town-
and that's, the taxpayers are paying their salaries. And these are two positions that were never there before.
And
I'm sure
the
they're
only-
nice
the
people,
only
but
people- the only-
I don't think they should be paid.
the only people who hire in the town is the town board. They hire the part-time
Well, you
positions
hired
other
these
than- other than
people,
elected officials.
And you hired these people,
They're
and
elected.
those positions were never there.
So, what do you mean they were never there?
There's not
The
one
two
council
clerks you
person
hired that are being paid, that work downstairs,
So-
those positions weren't never there before, were they?
Please stop.
I don't think they were there. They were hired
Sir.
to replace
The town clerk positions are hired, and then if she so chooses to swear them in as a deputy.
That is so.
that
She
is-
doesn't have to
that
swear them in.
up-
She is
that up
entitled to
her.
appoint her
That is up
deputies.
to her, but thank you.
She is entitled to appoint her deputies.
And at state.
Yes or no?
Kirk Klein
State
and
Supreme.
Joyce
Yes or no?
Carr and David
Sir,
Shank,
please
if they
stop.
chose
State
from
Supreme
the
Court
town
already
board's
decided. Clerk,
pool
please
of
stop.
clerks.
Please stop.
No, I
Please
will
stop.
not. No, I
Please
will
stop.
not.
Lay them off,
Because you
cut, bite the
continue
bullet,
to
lay them off. I'm sure they're
continue to
nice
tell
people.
False statements,
Okay, but
Supervisor
thank you,
Gallo.
thank you.
Shane Quinlan, 6700 Leibler Road. This has to do with tonight's appointments. I noticed that As last year, there was a deputy town supervisor that was appointed, and tonight there will be a deputy town supervisor appointed. It's an additional $1,000 to fill in for you when you don't make some of your 22 meetings that you're supposed to make, correct? So you have a deputy that's going to earn $1,000 this year, and the previous year, and the previous year, for any meetings that you miss. Now let's talk about missed meetings. Last meeting, 2 weeks ago, as of 4 o'clock when this place closed, as far as I know, there was a meeting that was supposed to happen. At 7:30 when people came down here, there was a sign on the door that said, by the town attorney, is that correct? That the meeting was canceled. That's not 24 hours notice. Why did this town buy a $15,000 website if they're not going to use it properly?
Unfortunately,
I think that's
can't
what that-
control the part-time positions that are here, and let me start off with the deputy. As the highway superintendent lost his deputy years ago and never was replaced, okay? He still manages to get all his work done, plow the roads, keep the ditches clean, get everything, okay?
And you have a deputy.
Now I will go on to your question of the town being closed. Not only, I am not in control of if people are sick, if people are on vacation.
As far as I know, that was 2 this year, and it wasn't weather, and
I'm sorry?
most of the people were here.
Nobody said it was weather.
There were 2 of the guys here.
It also posted on the clerk's door, it went home for illness. I didn't receive an email of a fill-in or anything on that too.
There's 2 meetings this year that were
That was
canceled,
at
lack
last
of
meetings too,
quorum.
or an email. So unfortunately, I can't control if somebody's sick, if somebody's on vacation. It's part-time positions. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. It does happen time to time, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Time to time, twice this year, once in very nice weather this past summer, I think it was April, and then again last meeting. That was okayed by the town attorney, that posting that was on the door 2 weeks ago on Wednesday night? Is that correct?
It's to inform the public.
It was signed by the town attorney. That's kind of what I was.
the way to go and inform the public, sir.
Okay.
We do the best job to inform the public. We're a small town, so we will do our best job to inform.
So we spent $15,000 on a new website to what, basically copy the old one, leave half the mistakes that were in the old one, and don't update the thing?
Well, the website was passed on, and we're doing the best to update the
That,
flaws
is
on it.
that maybe what the new clerks are supposed to be doing?
No,
When you took it out of the
Councilman
clerk's.
Munger, it was actually
No,
Councilman
I
Munger
think when you
who
took it out of the
took on
clerk's
project
office.
of it. Sir, please stop. It was actually Councilman Munger who took on a project of designing the website and getting it up and running. Obviously,
Who pulled it out of the,
restraints,
who
I
pulled it out of
jumped.
the clerk's office to begin with?
Yeah.
In
Sir, that's not what
October?
you- Sir, that's not what you asked me, though. That's not what you asked me.
Don't try to change the perception
I'm
as you
not
always
changing- I'm
do.
not changing perception. I'm trying to answer your question. That's all, but thank you.
I didn't
sir.
know this was a question and answer. I thought maybe I was just
I'm
here for
trying to
public
be-
comment.
I'm trying to be nice. Thank you, sir.
One last comment is Don Bonsall, 9923 Emerling Road, Town of Boston. And there's no offense to anybody in this room, but I have to tell you, Mrs. Bonzak too, as Kathy Selby left, I took on a lot of her workload. Yes, I've been trying to post everything on the web. There have been issues with it, so on and so forth. Okay, I'm one person. I am trying my best.
Exactly.
You know, I'm part-time. I am part-time. I just went full-time on Tuesday. So it is what it is. I apologize
Thank
for
you,
any
Dawn.
mistakes,
Thank you, Dawn.
but I'm trying.
Thank you.
Tony Zedek, 6540 Hillcroft Drive. On the other hand, would like to thank the town board and everyone up here for the commitment they're making to the residents of the town by throwing the Winterfest. Probably 450 to 500 people plus were at attendance. A lot of them young families, young children, nothing but praise for the town board and what they're doing for the town. Matter of fact, many people I've spoken to wish we do more things like this to bring the community together. I don't know, maybe we could work on something in the future, and another, maybe something in the summer, like we had way back when at Carnival and the community days, another activity of some sorts, because I think that's what the residents really need. And you know what? People have been paying taxes in this town for many, many years. It's about time they get to come and enjoy some of the festivities that you guys are putting on for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Are you his brother-in-law?
Absolutely.
That figures.
We're two masters of these, my friend.
Ooh, good one.
Judy Raiders, 5667 Homestead Road. I would like to back Tony up 100%. I've been coming almost 8 years, have only seen this kind of crowd in maybe the last year, only because I feel it's like all hecklers every meeting, and I don't even enjoy them anymore. And I would also like to thank you for your 200th celebration. I'm glad our town is financially able to do that. Start with the town of Evans and appreciate the town we live in. I have a service member for a nephew who grew up in this town. Spoke to him the other night. He is 39 years old. Told him he told me he was coming home next Christmas. I told him about the ice rink. I don't like doing this. His little boy skates inside in Texas and can't wait to come home and skate in the snow. And the first place Jason is heading is here because he loves this town. He loves what he had to do as a child growing up in this town. And I, for one, with no kids, am glad that you do what you do for the kids to hopefully keep them out of trouble, keep them off of the drugs, and keep them occupied so they can become good residents of the town of Boston.
Jay Jackson, 7719, 7964 Back Creek Road. I used to live at 7719. It's interesting, the last two comments were made by appointees of the board.
And the one before that was a disgruntled husband, so.
Okay, I make a motion to close the floor.
Second that.
I'm not an appointee.
Yes.
Yes.
Supervisor Gallo.
Yes.
Councilman Boydway.
Yes.
Yes.
Item number 2 under new business is appointments. Councilman Mills.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I will read off and make a motion to appoint the following people along with their title and/or term. 2017 appointments: Michael L. Kobioka, Town Attorney, part-time, term ending 12/31/2018. Patricia Maxwell, Deputy Town Attorney / Prosecutor, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. William G. Ferguson, Code Enforcement Officer, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Mary Ann Cummings Metz, she's a clerk, part-time for the highway, term ending 12/31/17. Brianna Bonsall, clerk, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Brian Krasinski, good. Dog Control Officer, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Anthony Zenick, Recreation Director, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Karen Miller, clerk, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. John Sibinek, Court Officer, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Daniel Muley, Court Officer, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Ashley Camerson, Assessment Clerk, part-time, 12/31/17, term ends. Thelma Fowler, Secretary to the Boards and Committees, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Teresa Horschel, Nutrition Program Director, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Lori Valentine, Sub-Assistant Nutrition Director, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Sharon Bulger, Assistant Nutrition Director, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Leo Jensen, our Town Hall Laborer, term ending 12/31/17. Joyce Carr, our Marriage Officer, term ending 12/31/17. Jacob Carp III, the Liaison to the Coble Hill Cemetery, term ending 12/31/17. Brianna Bonsall, Register of Vital Statistics, term ending 12/31/17. Mary Ann Cummings Metz, Deputy Register of Vital Statistics, term ending 12/31/17. Cheryl Dunmeyer, Town Hall Cleaner, part-time, term ending 12/31/17. Robert Telak, Park Superintendent, term ending 12/31/17. Sarah Jardis, Town Planner, term ending 12/31/17. James D. Hannon, our Town Engineer, term ending 12/31/17. Scott Fellows, Labor, full-time, term ending 12/31/17. Barry Decker, Parks Labor, seasonal, term ending 12/31/17. Amanda Jensen, Parks Labor, seasonal, 12/31/17. Do I have a second on this motion?
Second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Bello,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
I will say yes with the inclusion of my sole, I will echo the concern with the 2 hired part-time clerks.
Motion's carried.
These appointments are made by me, myself as supervisor, Jeffrey Genzel, deputy town supervisor, term ending 12/31/17. Don Bonko, assistant to supervisor, full-time, 12/31/17, and Keith Kazubic, town historian, 12/31/17. Make a motion. Item number 3 is established salary schedule. Councilman Munger.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I would like to make a motion to approve the following positions with the accompanied salaries as read. The assistant to the supervisor, full-time, $37,888 a year. Deputy supervisor, $1,000 a year. Part-time court clerk, $15 an hour. Court clerk, $38,584 a year. Assessor, $38,584 a year. Assessment clerk, part-time, $15 an hour. Highway clerk, part-time, $12 an hour. Town attorney, $31,514 a year. Deputy town prosecutor, $14,974 a year. Court officer, part-time, $5,267 a year. Clerk, part-time, $15 an hour. Only one of those. Secretary to boards, part-time, $15 an hour. Recreation director, part-time, $16,635 a year, that should say, not an hour. Although I would be applying for that job. Code enforcement officer, part-time, $20,873 a year. Deputy code enforcement, part-time, $5,100 a year. Dog control officer, part-time, $9,671 a year plus $1 additional per parcel. Nutrition program director, $11.60 an hour. Assistant nutrition program director, $11.60 an hour. Laborer part-time town hall, $15 an hour. Cobble Hill Cemetery liaison, $300 a year. Town historian, $2,550 a year. Cleaner of the town hall, part-time, $3,708 a year. Budget director, $3,500 a year. Parks superintendent, $8,222 a year. Parks seasonal employees, $15 an hour, there are 2. Parks laborer full-time, $36,050 a year.
I second those salaries.
Councilman Munger,
Do you have I have to, yeah, yes. But
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Bello,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
There isn't one currently. It is a job that is hopefully to be found somebody to fill position.
Would you like to apply, Mr. Metz?
All right, in addition to these, I would like to make a motion to Approve that the highway department will be per collective bargaining agreement and the elected officials of the town, the supervisor will make $30,926 a year. Councilmen, all four of us, will make $8,500 a year. Highway superintendent will make $59,667 a year. The town clerk will make $46,165 a year, and the two town justices will make $16,609 yearly.
Second it.
This does not need a motion, it was already approved upon that November for elected officials, so the salaries were already
Yeah.
approved.
Sorry, misspoke. Thank you.
Item number 4, I'm going to read through item number 4 through 19 and do them as one. Set payment of salaries bi-weekly to the town clerk, supervisor, assistant to supervisor, highway superintendent, deputy highway superintendent, which we do not have, bookkeeper, court clerk, clerk part-time, assessor clerk, secretary of two boards, communities, MEOs, which is our highway workers, truck drivers and laborers. All others are paid on a monthly basis. Designation of official bank, North Boston branch of Evans National Bank for supervisor, town clerk, town justice, town collector, and dog control officer. Scheduled dates and times for regular meetings of the agenda review. At the regular meetings of the Boston Town Board will be held Wednesday of each month at 7:30 p.m. with the agenda review to be at 6:30. Second meeting will be determined if needed.
Mr. Supervisor, just for clarification on that, is the meeting the first Wednesday of the month?
First Wednesday of every month. Designation official newspaper, the Buffalo News. Appointment of Nest Solid Waste Management Board, Councilman Keating. Authorization of surplus money. Authorizes the supervisor and the tax collector to invest surplus money. Investment policy. Investment policy previously adopted by the town board where idle town monies may be invested subject to any further regulations from the state controller pursuant to section 39 of general municipal law as follows. Obligation of federal government, treasury notes, treasury bills, etc. Obligations of federal agencies guaranteed by the government. Obligations of the state of New York. Certifications of deposit and commercial bank which are FDIC insured. Regular savings account monies, market accounts in commercial banks. If proper securities are provided for all monies invested in excess of the amount secured by FDIC. Number 6, tax anticipation notes and revenue anticipation notes of another municipality, district, corporation, or school district. Any other investment